Okay, today we're going to do exercise 4.1. Okay, I'll start with question 1. Basically, the whole idea behind this chapter is this. We've been doing quite a lot of work with quadratic equations so far. Today what we're going to do is we're going to draw, these equations. Basically, an equation is something that relates y and x together. And a quadratic equation is when the highest power of x is a square. So, we are going to see on a Cartesian coordinate, Cartesian coordinate plane, alright, basically there's an x-axis and a y-axis. We're going to plot, right, for every value of x, there is a particular value of y. We'll plot this out on the x and y-axis, and we'll see what the shape of the graph looks like, okay? So, before I even plot anything, notice that the number before x squared here is positive 1. Okay, I'll come back to this idea later. So notice that the number before x squared is positive 1, or basically the coefficient of x squared is equals to positive 1. Okay, notice I keep saying the word positive. We will see why later. Okay, now basically we have the table of values here. I just show you how to get a few. Basically this one, when x is negative 3, I put it there. Okay, so it's negative 3. Okay, close the brackets. Negative 3 square minus 4. And we get the value of 5 down here. Okay? Then I will try with this one. Negative 2 square. So it's negative 2 bracket square minus 4. Don't forget to use brackets here. You press. The answer here is 0. You would like to take some time to actually work out the rest of the values by yourself before I give you the answers. I will not waste your time by keying in all the values for you to see, because this is simple calculator skills. But in the end you get negative 3, negative 4, negative 3, 0. Last one I just key for you to see again. When x is 3, 3 square minus 4 is 5. That's why this value here is 5. Okay, we refer to the question now. Notice the question says 2 cm to represent 1 unit on the x-axis and 1 cm to represent 1 unit on the y-axis. Okay, let's just take it easy down here. Basically is this, how many cm is it here? Notice, right, for one big square, down here like this, one big square is equivalent to 2 cm. Okay, see, one big square is 2 cm and one small square is 1 cm. So they tell us 2 cm to 1 unit on the x-axis. So what I do here is this. We have 2 cm to 1 unit on the x-axis. Okay, wait for me a while. Okay, while I try to get some pencil lead. Okay, so now back to here. 2 cm to 1 unit on the x-axis. Basically, if I start from 0, so notice right here, it is 2 cm, 1 cm, 2 cm. So it is 1 unit, 2 units, 3 units. Alright, so it's 2 cm to 1 unit on the x-axis. And down here, let me erase this. This will give me x. And we have negative 1, negative 2, negative 3 down here as well. Okay, y-axis, they tell us that it is 1 cm to represent 1 unit on the y-axis. So notice the y-axis goes from 5 to negative 4. Okay, so 1 cm, see here is 1 cm to 1 unit. This is 1, this is 2, this is 4, this is 6. This is my y-axis. Okay, let's see how far we need to go down until negative 4. So it's negative 2, negative 4, like this. Okay, now we start to plot the values. When x is negative 3, y is 5, which is down here. X is negative 2, y is 0. X is negative 1, y is negative 3. Negative 1, negative 3 is here. 0, negative 4 is down here. 1, negative 3 is here. 2, 0 is here. 3, 5 is here. Okay, please do not use, okay, notice right that the shape is something like this. Okay, the shape will be a nice curve, okay, it will not be a straight line. Some of you will just use your ruler and just join. Doesn't work that way. There are many ways to draw this, but today I will show you using a French curve. Okay, for the French curve, like this, okay, I join out the points. Basically, right, you notice, right, I've joined up 3 points down here, alright, using the French curve. You can of course use a flexible curve if you want, but I prefer the use of the French curve. Okay, notice that I'm turning the paper as I join the lines, because as I say, the paper is, you can actually turn the paper, no need to turn your body. Some people will just turn their body, but no point. Okay, turning the paper is a much easier thing to do. Alright, and then finally this portion here, let me fit the curve. Yes, that's a good fit. And the other side. Alright, okay, and notice I have a nice curve down there. Okay, and then just now remember what I told you, when coefficient of x squared is positive 1, notice that my graph is a nice smiley shape like this. Okay, so when the coefficient of x squared is positive, doesn't need to be positive 1, any positive, you will get a smiley shape like this. And notice that the graph, right, must be a nice rounded shape, like it's round. Okay, nowhere is it sharp, it's just nice and curvy. Okay, now the next question they ask is, state the minimum point of the graph. Minimum point quite obviously is down here. This is my minimum point. Okay, so this will be part C. Okay, so I write there part C. Oops, forgot to label my graph. Okay, notice that all graph work should be done in pencil. Then your working over here can be done in pen. Alright, so part C. Okay, this is part A. Part C, it tells us minimum point. So I write there minimum point is equals to this point here. X is 0, Y is negative 4. That is my minimum point. Line of symmetry. What is the line of symmetry? Basically, the line of symmetry is something that divides a graph exactly into two. So in this case, my line of symmetry, okay, will actually be down here. Let me try to use a marker. Let me hope that the marker here is still working. Okay, this line in pink here is actually my line of symmetry. As you notice, right, it will fold the graph exactly into two. So this is known as my line of symmetry. And as we have learned from lower side, for a vertical line, it is x equals to something. Okay, so in this case, my x value is equals to 0. So the equation for my line of symmetry is x is equals to 0. And I am done with question 1. So in summary, what we have to do is all working is done in pen over here at one side very neatly. Then graph work is to be done in pencil. Alright, don't forget to label the graph. And last part here, all of it is done in pen. Okay, so graph work in pencil and all the answers are done in pen. Okay, stay tuned. I'll have another 2 more examples, right, for this chapter of 4.1.